Welcome back. It is time now for our weekly Real Estate 101 segment. Tonight, how to combat pricey down payments when searching for a co-op apartment. About 85% of the city's real estate market is made up of co-ops, most requiring a 20 to 25% down payment, plus sometimes 2 years of maintenance and mortgage payments in the bank. That is a huge chunk of change that many first-time buyers simply don't have. But real estate experts say there are ways that you can get around the liquidity factor. And joining us once again is Kathy Braddock, partner of Braddock NY1. She has some tips about skirting the liquidity issue. First of all, Kathy, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Well, talk a little bit about some of these tips. You start out by suggesting to ask maybe a family member or somebody who you know has some cash that they might be willing to part with. That can be tricky, especially when it comes to family situations, though.
No, absolutely. One of the things that we do see quite often is that if you do go to a family member, you can ask for maybe an extended loan. So if they give you some money 3 or 4 months in advance, it's sort of called a seasoned gift. And if that's been in your account for a while, it will certainly help you be able to make that down payment.
Do you need to be careful with tax implications of that gift?
You do, and so therefore you might want to pay back some simple interest on it to them. And of course, even with a family member, it's always good to have everything in writing.
Absolutely. That's great advice there. Also, buildings, some of them don't require board approvals, some co-ops. Tell us about these, and how do you find out about them?
Those are really the best possible option for you. They're called sponsor units, and they are units that were owned by the original person who actually converted the building from a rental to a co-op, most of them back in the 80s. And there are sponsor units left. Usually what happens, unfortunately, is rental tenants pass on, the apartment becomes available, and then the owner, the landlord, wants to sell them. They're found out, really, real estate brokers know about them as soon as they come on the market, and in that case, you can finance whatever the bank tells you you can, very similar to a condo, and that's a great opportunity.
And how do they compare price-wise to a regular co-op?
Sometimes you are going to pay a little bit extra for that privilege of not having to come up with that large down payment, as well as you usually don't have to financially pass the co-op board. But again, it's a wonderful opportunity for someone who has not amassed the liquidity that some of these buildings do require.
And then you said there's also the option of condops. So tell us about these and what's the advantage there.
Again, a condop is a small amount of the New York City real estate market as well, maybe 2%, but it's really a co-op but has condo-like financing. So again, a little bit the best of both worlds, but again, you can finance whatever the bank tells you can finance, and the co-op board simply has the right of first refusal. So again, a terrific opportunity if you don't have that liquidity in the bank.
And Kathy, just to quickly jump back to sponsor units, you said that you might be paying a little bit more for that. Would it be almost as much as paying the price of a condo, and would that maybe be worth it if you can afford to do that?
Sometimes the differential can be as much, but usually not. And then, yes, we still believe that if you want to buy something, you don't have the liquidity to jump into the co-op market, and you could seize an opportunity. Remember, purchasing is a terrific opportunity to write off your interest, etc. So I would look at your numbers and see if you can do it.
Okay, Kathy Braddock of Braddock NY1, thanks so much. We appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Also, a quick note to our viewers, we do focus on real estate and the latest market trends happening in New York every Wednesday night. If there is a topic or question you'd like us to address, please email us to fortune@ny1.com. And for updates on business news, don't forget you can log on to Fortune.